Okay, this is going to be a quick review of the Sig M400 Enhanced Magpul Edition versus the Colt LE6920, the newest version that they are releasing, which does not have the carrying handle anymore. They've discontinued that, and now they're using a Magpul flip-up sight. We'll go over that in a little bit. This review, or this comparison, is not really going to be so much about the internal components of the guns, because that's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of videos out there on the bolt carrier groups, and if you're looking at these two guns or comparing them, you know that the Colt has a full auto bolt, and the Sig just has the AR-15 enhanced bolt. That's just a decision that you need to make. You know, you could always upgrade the Sig to a full auto bolt if you wanted to, or a nickel boron bolt, something like that in the future. But what this is going to be is just an overview of the two guns. We have a little sip here of some double IPA. Delicious. So basically it's going to be a rundown of some features of the guns. Just more, we're going to probably get more into some cosmetic features and show some of the cool features about the Sig lower receiver. Now, out of the box, really I feel like the Sig just feels better and looks a little better, little bit more refined. And the reason of that is going to be because of the Magpul foregrips here. And there's no wobble in these, no play, whereas in the Colt you're going to get some wobble and some play in those. So, and actually the Sig has a little bit less play in between the upper and lower receivers. But there's some cool things with the Sig lower receiver. We'll start here at the front. First thing that we're going to notice here is that there's some little grooves here in the front of the receiver, and that is so you can get some grip up there. If you like to hold your gun in that sort of position, get some grip up there. Another cool feature is that you've got a flared magwell. So Sig really has gone in and designed their own lower receiver. You've got your ambidextrous mag release, which even as a right-handed shooter, this is still pretty cool feature that I enjoy. Of course, this Magpul Grip just feels awesome. You got a little storage compartment down there. Another cool thing here is that your Sling Adapter is now actually milled into the aluminum lower receiver, whereas with the Colt, with the Rogers Super Stock, you're going to put your D-ring back here instead of into the lower receiver with the Sig. So depending on what type of sling configuration you like to run, it may help determine which one of these weapons you want to own. Another cool thing that I like about the Sig here is that on the other side you'll see that there's a little groove cut in to the selector switch. Sorry, the iPhone is not focusing too well right now, but there's a little groove cut in that's just going to show you. It's a little bit more of an ambidextrous feature, so you can just give a quick look on either side of the gun to know. And you know, sometimes that's handy if you're looking over here on the right hand side of the gun and you want to know if it's on safe or semi. Sig gives that feature, whereas the Colt, of course, doesn't have anything. There's not a dot or anything like that to tell. So, you know, it's just kind of one of those things where, you know, Sig makes really good products. They don't put crap out there, and this is a well thought out gun, very well thought out gun. And I'm sure you can watch videos all day long that are going to tout the Colt as far as having you know, better components. Of course, those are all upgradable in the Sig, and you're not going to be able to get the some of the features such as the flared magwell, the front grooves here. You're not going to be able to get that in the Colt unless you add some sort of bulky mechanism or grip here. Out of the box, I of course like the Magpul Grip better than this one. I don't like the little notch there interfering with my finger. I know it sounds like I'm giving a lot of preference here to the Sig, and that's you know, because I feel like the Sig is a well thought out gun. I think it's a well thought out platform, very versatile with the with the ambidextrous here. Now, as far as some differences here in the barrels, not a whole lot. The major difference here is that the Colt is going to be magnetic particle inspected, whereas the Sig is not. So you're going to get the MP stamping on the Colt. You're not going to be able to see this in the video, but you can actually see the turning marks from the lathe, the little grooves here on the Colt barrel, whereas the Sig is going to be it's going to be smooth. There's no sort of lathe marks left there. I don't know if they've sanded them down or what, but they've not left those. The Colt has a little bit more of a shiny barrel, and it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not a gloss, but the Sig is definitely a flat. Of course, the Colts always come super heavily greased out of the box. I mean, this thing's been wiped down a little bit, and you can still see where there's still a lot of oil on it. I love these Magpul 4-end grips. I'm not big on quad rails or throwing a ton of unnecessary gizmos on an AR, and these things just feel great. They're tight, whereas I said this one's loose. You know, this just, it feels somewhat cheap. That's all right though, because everything else inside of the Colt is where your money's going to come from. The Colts now only shipped with one magazine. Used to ship with some Colt 20-round magazines. Now they're only giving you a windowed PMag, which is nice. Windowed PMags are hard to come by right now in February of 2013, with all the excitement of ARs being ramped up in the media. Not a whole lot of difference here in the stocks, other than the super stock, of course, gives you the option with this little lever to lock it in place anywhere you want, so you're not limited to just the 6 positions. One thing I really do like about the Colt though now is that they're no longer shipping with the carry handle, and at first I didn't like that because I like the traditional look of the carry handle, but this Magpul flip up sight is really nice. It's a really nice sight. So these are actually about $60 depending on what type of store you get it from, and it's wonderful. It's got two different settings here for long range and short range. So you've got one there, and then flip that up, and I don't know if you can quite see that, but you get the idea behind that. One other thing I'll just mention real quick, this is just probably personal preference, but the Sig does have some stress cracks in the extrusion of the buffer tube. Of course, this buffer tube is aluminum. It's thrown through an extrusion process to get that particular shape. It's not cast, it's extruded, but you're going to have some stress cracks here in this, and you know, this could be because Sig is running product out real fast right now to meet up with the demand that's going on. The other thing is that the Sig was unable to ship with a green Magpul. It shipped with a black one instead, 30 round. Only came with one. I have this Troy Battle Mag. I'll do a review of the Troy Battle Mag versus the PMag in an upcoming video. I'm really impressed with these, so stay tuned with that. You know, as far as the Colt goes, a wonderful gun, awesome gun. You can't get much better than the gold standard, which is a Colt. It's going to hold its value really well. There's no going wrong with the Colt, of course. Some people have said that the accuracy has struggled a little bit. I'm probably going to invest in some sort of wedge for the upper and lower receiver to eliminate some of the play in between there. It's hard to see in the video, but there is a little bit of play. It's minute, and a lot of the play is coming from this grip right here, and that's just pretty standard as far as ARs go. That those aren't going to fit up quite as snug as the Magpuls are. So if I were going to buy the Colt, of course I'd want to put some Magpul features, and I'd actually want to take Magpul features from the Sig and put them on the Colt. But you know, that's later on. Now, as far as the color goes, I really like the green. I didn't think I was going to at first, but this has just turned into being a really beautiful gun. This Sig has. Really impressed with it for the price point. So that's the review. Can't really think of anything else right off that's going to be a huge difference. So if you have any questions, or if I can update anything like that, just leave some comments. I'll try and get around to that as soon as I can. But yeah, real impressed with the Sig, and wonderful gun.